skipped. Everyone's old now.
Oh no!
What happened?
You're
to that
older
heist
than I am.
70 years ago.
What are you talking about? I'm a druid. I haven't aged.
You're not that kind of druid.
If I'm high enough level.
Yeah, if.
Not yet. Not yet. You're not.
Okay, Don't monks not age either?
Huh?
For druids and for monks, I think it's not like that they stop aging, but the aging just slows to a point of like
they age 10 times as slow. So if you are
like
human, you now have the lifespan of an elf, and if you're an elf, you have the lifespan of holy shit.
Or the dragon, basically.
Wow, I hadn't thought about that as a thing to extend further.
Cool. Like that.
Oh man!
Which is why elf druids are so like otherworldly.
Yeah, totally. I have a dream.
If Eirys still around now, then she would have aged like 5 years.
Yeah.
That's true.
She'd be young and beautiful.
That is true.
She'd be like 27.
That's crazy, man. But then
and
half
Cherral's
elves.
already an elf, so
yeah.
Half elves don't age as slowly as elves do.
No, they're a little bit. They live a little bit longer than
on
humans, I think.
Depends on the lore. It's either they live about 200 or 500 years.
Oh heck! So that's wow. Ayla's going to be really, really ancient when she if she gets to that old and that powerful.
Huh.
Okay.
Huh.
Cool. Welcome back to the stream. Not get anybody else in. I'm assuming that in the next 5 minutes, maybe some people will jump in from the server that this is connected to. Hope you guys are okay. Sorry about the delay on the game. We're in the midst of a sort of a heist sort of deal. And I know you guys are keen to get cracking, so we're going to jump straight back in. Just bear with me as
a fine lesson. Indeed.
So let me just switch the music across. This should come through on the stream, but not necessarily in the game. Sorry. I've just taken to using YouTube playlists, and I encourage you guys to do the same. Okay. So you guys are at various positions. Ella, you're in the library. You've discovered an interesting-looking spell book, and you're busy scrapping across the kind of stuff into your spell book. Meanwhile, Brüz, we're in the midst of the lounge of this Cherral's like big manor house. There's a bearskin rug that is currently being worn by Nuru, who became an albino bald bear, and is wearing it, pinning Cherral to the ground. You can see him kind of like thrashing around. It's a strange phenomenon because there's no noise in here. There's no sound at all. So you can see what would be creating a cacophony of sound, of noise, but because the buzz of concentration in the back of your mind is you're still concentrating on it, there's no noise happening. It's just
I like to imagine to him it sounds like it's like happening but through like several layers of glass, so it's just like
well, there would be an essence of physical vibration that he would feel.
Yeah.
But it's the whole silence thing is lots of fun to suddenly be afflicted by.
That's right. What are you going to do?
It's my turn. Wow. So Brüz had made his way into the
that one's you.
In through the window.
Yeah.
Fell down and I just made a circle by mistake. Maybe I did.
No worries.
Brüz, if I remember correctly, Brüz climbed in through the window, then fell through the window, I should say, then stood up and cast Blink on himself and popped out of this plane and into the ethereal plane.
Ah, yeah, I remember now. So you're currently in a sort of, crumbs, like almost a ghostly version of this.
Vanished.
Yeah,
he's vanished from this plane, but does see everything that's happening on this plane.
It's just a bit of like Frodo putting the ring on, sort of realm of sort of like ghostly sort of apparitions and shadows of what is there in the material plane.
So Brüz will reappear 10 feet closer to Cherral,
Okay.
and then approaching slowly, sort of covering his face to start.
Mm-hmm.
Will cast message again to Cherral,
Okay.
We should probably.
and just start asking the question, why? Just, and he hears the word "why" 25 times. as Brüz in his sort of ghostly Mara form,
Yeah.
walks up and then kind of reveals Mara's face and just stands there, like
Sure.
like arm to the side, gesture, playing, and stops, and just,
Okay.
and that's the end of Brüz's turn.
He the high priest is he made a wisdom save and he didn't roll very well, so he's just paralyzed by fear at this point as to everything that's happened in such a burst of time in the few moments it's taken for him to investigate that you guys at the window, and from the time of him basically closing it and turning around, suddenly whoosh, all of this has happened within the space of 10-15 seconds, so he's paralyzed with fright. Arthrin is going to use half of his movement to quietly attempt to move across. Okay. Not going to tell you anything about what's happening on the roof because you guys can't see it.
Fine.
I'm not going to tell you anything. It's going poorly.
I mean, from what you guys can tell from within the sphere, and from what Eirys and Kyro can tell on the roof, Eirys and Kyro, you would have been able to hear the kind of sound of whoomph Arthrin hitting the roof.
I'm also outside the sphere.
Say again?
I'm also outside the sphere.
Oh, okay, that's true. So you'd have heard the sound of the impact.
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily have heard the sound of Arthrin going across the roof. Eirys, you certainly would have done, as effectively you can hear of like footsteps going over the cobblestones, trying to make their way back in the way that he came. And yeah, you can both hear the kind of murmuring voices of the two guards outside the front door, just kind of wondering and moving to see what they can see. Arthrin seems to have moved himself outside of their view because their voices don't rise or anything. They don't indicate any sign that they've seen anything. Nuru, you are a big bear wearing a skin.
Yes.
Pinning Cherral to the ground.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
I would like to continue doing that as long as possible.
Okay. So effectively, we can say that he's pinned by you on your turn, and when it comes to his turn, if he tries to force his way out, we'll do a contested sort of grapple check.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue mauling him until he's unconscious, and then, yeah, I don't want to kill him, but I do want to make him not be awake.
I don't know whether or not mauling him is perhaps the version of rendering unconscious that you might want to use.
Okay,
I think perhaps
then...
just continuing to sit on him and sort of like...
I do want to whack him on the head a few times and see if I can knock him out, I guess.
I could say that you could use a claw attack and just effectively use it as bludgeoning damage instead of slashing damage.
Okay.
And that, yeah, effectively you're just clubbing him around the face.
I'm not trying to bleed him to death. I'm just trying to knock him out.
Yeah, because you're basically right on top of him, pinning him down. I'll give you advantage on the attack.
All right.
Roll for bear.
Roll for bear. Okay. Well, it's a good thing.
Your bear is sad.
My bear is sad, but I guess he's just squirming, and I'm having trouble. But
Well, it's probably because you're trying too hard to not hurt him.
yeah, I don't want it to seem like I'm not trying to hurt him. I want to seem scary, so that's maybe a problem.
That's right. There's enough going on to make this scary enough that he's probably not going to even notice that he's not getting killed as
Yeah.
quickly as he thought he might.
if he starts to notice anything, I'm gonna go back to hurting him a little, just to prove a point.
Yeah, sure.
Not to kill him, but
I don't think that's a concern, to be honest.
okay. So that was there's a. Hold on, I need to open up the bear stats, which are separate. Where's my bear? Bear. I think I went with a brown bear. That seems right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, so that is for the claw attack. It's a +6, and I rolled a 7, so that's 13.
So Cherral is not in any armor of any kind.
Okay.
He's just in like plain. He's in like lounge wear, almost like a bit of a Scrooge style dressing gown going on right now. So he's hit. Like he gets clobbered
Okay.
around the face. Roll the damage.
Okay. That's. Where's my d6?
Like a D6.
Better than like a rhinestone cowboy.
Well, hell. Got my damage roll?
That is 7 plus 4. 11.
11
damage.
points of damage. So you bludgeon him across the face, and he takes it. And you're surprised that he still appears, despite the fact he's taken a blow across the face, relatively cognizant of what's going on around him still. He's shocked and he's hurt. There's a kind of big welt across the upper kind of forehead from where you've impacted him, and one of the eyes, one of the eyes appears kind of like blood red where the white should be because of the impact. But yeah, he seems still very much conscious, and he's going to attempt to. I mean, it's not his turn yet, so you don't know. But yeah, that'll be your turn. We'll assume that because you're directly on top of him, that he's just basically naturally grappled at this point. The guards outside, Eirys, you're able to hear this, Kyro as well. They're kind of shifting around, and you can hear kind of murmured voices from outside the windows over here. Oh. They don't seem to be able to see Arthrin, which may or may not be what you want to hear. Yell. You are outside of the window. You can't hear anything. What are you going to do?
I guess I'll just stay ever so slightly out of the silence as I am, keeping an eye on things, ready to send a message if need be.
Okay, I'll give you a perception check for the turn.
So natural 19 plus... plus 2. 21.
Yeah. So you're basically equally aware of what's going on as, say, Eirys and Kyro are. You kind of you hear the impact on the roof and you think, okay, Arthrin. You kind of crane your head up and try and like make out any more noise, and you do hear a few footsteps of Arthrin's movement across the roof. And by the fact that there aren't any other raised voices, you're assuming that he's managed to maintain, to stay outside of the view of the guards. The guards are definitely aware that something's up, though. Kyro.
He's gonna look at Eirys and see what her reaction to the loud thumping and all the Arthrin nonsense, and he's gonna basically grab his stuff. What's her reaction to that?
She stopped for a second when she heard the thump. Obviously, like looked upwards, realizing it was Arthrin. She would have kept just trying to move stuff into the bag. The moment she heard the guards talking, she would have stopped to listen to what they were saying. And then she seems relieved that they don't seem to have reacted to seeing him. And now she's just at a quicker pace, trying to like grab everything.
Okay, then I'm gonna do the same.
Yeah, so effectively, you can spend, because you spent the entire of last turn just throwing everything inside. Frickin' who directed Snatch again? Lock, stock.
Guy Ritchie.
Like Guy Ritchie movie style. You're just like throwing everything into the bag of holdings that each of you possess. And
are we able to finish grabbing all the stuff in this turn? Because I think you said in 2 turns you'd get all the
I
things.
did. I'd said that in this
still have
turn,
movement?
I would say that you have movement for this turn, but you're using your action and your bonus action to just get everything that you can into the bags.
In that case, he's going to grab everything, finish doing that, grab his bag, and then he's going to nod at her and head out the door towards, trouble.
Okay. Sure thing. Yep, so you can get that far down down that corridor towards the kind of grand entrance hall with the sweeping stairs that go up either side. Underneath the stairs, you can glance onto your right, the kind of mosaic-like grand symbol of Helm kind of on this ground floor sort of space. The chandelier above, beautiful and hanging with like ornate crafted glass and lights that appear not to be from candles but from sort of magical enchantment, almost kind of like reflecting off of the pieces. But yeah, you recognize that pier, just as a reminder for you as a player, that's where you came from. And then up through this doorway, you do know that you came through this through the bedroom, and you do remember, I'm sure, there's a reinforced chest in the bedroom as well.
Yeah,
so
I remember all that stuff. So
Eirys, same goes for you. You're just able to sweep up off everything that you can. Pressure's on. You leave well, it's up to you. I'd say if you wanted to make sure you grab... Yeah, if you want to leave anything, or if you wanted to frickin' sweep up every last individual coin, I'd let you roll for that.
Yep, she's going to try her best to do that.
Everything.
Sleight of hand.
What? And he's lucky.
All right.
Hey, there we go. And Spice is going to steal my dice. Where's my thing? Lucky, so it's 15 plus 10, so 25.
25. Whew. Okay.
It was a 3.
You're a 3 becomes 25.
13.
Wow. Okay.
Rogue, man.
Rogue. Well, that's a lucky feat, man. Anyway, yeah, you sweep the coins in. There's one kind of shelving on your left-hand side that you just hold up the bag. The last few coins kind of empty in. You glance around. It doesn't look like there's any other pieces in this room. You're good to go.
Then how far can she get with her movement? Did it seem like Kyro snuck out or just pegged it?
From what I heard, from what I understood, just
moving
pegged
about
it.
as quietly as normal.
Okay, so just ran out then, I guess.
So yeah, probably.
I mean, I would have tried to be subtle about it.
Oops,
I mean,
being stealthy. This is an operation.
Yeah, as subtle as you can be without actually using to hide.
Yeah.
okay,
So yeah, I'll just run there.
sure.
But yeah, he's moving.
Eirys is going for what she said last time, which was to go back for the chest. She seems intent on going back up the stairs. She's still got her boots active, so she's
Okay, yeah,
pretty
and
silent, just hovering like Essex style.
yeah, it's oh, that's awesome. You're obviously you're both able to make your way up pretty much as directly as you like. Obviously, it's easier to, I don't know, you could even run across like the wall if you wanted for a more direct route, because both of your boots allow you to do that.
Yeah.
Ella, at the same time as all of this is happening, did you know that grease allows you to cover the ground in a 10-foot square centered on a point within range and turns it into difficult terrain for the duration? And if you cast it immediately underneath a target, they must make a dexterity saving throw, or fall prone, slipping on the grease. It's a very, very interesting thing that you've discovered in this library, and you're glad that you came. Yeah, and you'll be able to copy this across. You'll be able to get the key points into your spellbook now, and then you'll be able to top up on the time when you're taking a long rest when you're out in the wild. That's happy. I'm happy for that to be the thing. Cool. Cherral is going to make a strength grapple check against Bear Nuru.
Surely a disadvantage being paralyzed with fear.
Yeah, he's frightened, so he does have disadvantage on this roll. Sorry. Natural 5 for well, who knows? Oh, it's a 6. It's a 6. He has a strength modifier of +1. The cheeky devil.
Okay, so
He does yoga.
what am I rolling?
You're rolling your bear's strength score. Strength modifier.
Oh, gee. Well, yeah. Guess what? That doesn't work.
Okay, so
which is a +4, and I rolled a 12. So
yeah. So just thrashing around wildly. The welt on the side of his head is looking pretty angry. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Brüz, you're kind of like in the zone. You're really character acting this Mara visage. You look over at your duplicitous self, and you see it make eye contact with you. And it's your turn. What are you gonna do?
So the duplicity and Brüz both kind of lean in together and then kind of step one behind the other as the duplicity disappears. And then the Brüz is just going to sit cross-legged on the floor next to Cherral, just kind of watching passively as the bear seems to just relentlessly attack him. And actually,
okay. I mean, we can keep on going, assuming that we're just going to let the bear carry on pinning the cleric.
I think what Brüz is going to do is just in that moment cast Thaumaturgy.
Okay.
And the really, really dark, sort of lifeless eyes of Mara are now going to just flash bright red and just start glowing.
He's not gonna listen. There's no rolls that's necessary. Cherral is just, oh my goodness. There's a puddle on the ground underneath him.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look for the high priest. Yeah. So talk about taking him off guard. Cool. The ranger on the roof, does better this time. Eirys, you can still hear him, but yeah, he's making his way across the roof to a decent degree. You feel like he's doing a better job of hiding the sounds, certainly to an extent that the guards, as long as he's staying on like the other side of the slope of the roof, on this side of the building, he should be okay for getting out of view of them. There is still some voices that you guys can hear as you're running across. So as you two kind of make your way to the end of this corridor, you almost kind of like slow down your run a little bit because you're aware that the front door is right there, and on the other side may well be guards. So you're just careful as you go. Nuru, you are bear. You're gonna carry on trying to knock him out?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. Roll with advantage.
Nuru, you are right there.
And again, not rolling too well, but it should be fine.
What's the roll?
Hold on. Where do I keep? Okay, so that's 10.
God damn, this character's 0 dexterity modifier.
He's just not squirrely enough.
He's just trying his best, but he's just yeah.
Even with your sad rolls.
This is
Try your best, but you don't succeed.
Holy crap.
And,
must be a
and I
bear
hit him with a
sitting on
pitiful
your
6
chest.
damage.
Say again?
Pitiful 6 damage, but whatever. It's just elongating his suffering.
Yeah, he's looking pretty beaten up.
I feel like Nuru's starting to feel bad about this.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean-
thinking, like, she's a little like he's in a puddle on the ground, and she's like, "Ew."
It's a bit like,
But-
yeah, it is a bit awkward. You feel like the way that he's just still...
Can't you knock out? Now I'd like to this not be.
He just feels, you know, it just feels like he's capable of taking a lot of punishment, because he is a senior cleric. And
I
yeah,
think it would be the other way around.
I don't know. Hashtag
He's
high
full of
level.
The power of God.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe both of you are wishing that he would be knocked out now, but that's not happening. Cool. You're both aware of... Let's just go over here. The guards are going to keep on looking around, I think. Yeah, they're still unable to see. They'd end up kind of going, oh, must have just been... I don't know. Maybe some kind of animal? It's unbelievable, these mangy cats moving around, and they start walking back towards the front door. The guards at the back are going to start a patrol around the back door. They're going walking pace, so they're really not going very quickly. There doesn't seem to be much going on. You can kind of like glance through the window, and you actually get a pretty good view of a giant bear sitting on Cherral with a ghostly visage of Mara, kind of like sitting next to this guy cross-legged, just kind of like mournfully looking across at it. And it seems par for the course for this group, to be frank. This is fairly, yeah. Is there anything you want to do?
No, again, just keeping an eye out and ready to send either a message or turn invisible if guards appear.
It doesn't sound like any guards are immediately on their way from your passive. I'll let you roll again if you want. In the meantime, Kyro and Eirys, because you guys are next to each other, what are you guys going to do?
You want to just move up to the chest? Is that what your plan is?
Yes,
He's not
and,
saying that.
pretty much from where they are now. I don't know how tall the ceiling is, but Eirys is going to go up off of the ground up to the ceiling and move across from that way rather than getting to the stairs.
Okay, so the ceiling around here where you are is quite, low. It's like between about 10 feet. But as you get to the base of these stairs, this room really, really opens up. The wide chandelier, the huge chandelier on the top is a good beyond 2 stories high. So we'll say, what's the movement here? With a dash action, you'd be able to get to the door here. Okay?
Perfect. Yeah.
And then we'd say, Kyro, just for your sake, you'd be able to do the same, just sweeping up the stairs. Or if you wanted to, just go sticky on the walls next to the stairs. Just sweep up as well.
Is
He
that
takes the
with,
fastest path.
Yeah.
both dash actions, so bonus action and action and movement?
Well, your movement's 30, is it?
Yeah, so it'd be 90 total.
Okay.
Including going up, not just...
Including going up, I would suggest that you'd actually be able to get to the bedroom door as well if you used all 3 of them.
Yeah,
And I'd say the same for Kyro. You're basically going to spend the next turn sweeping up through and bundling through into the bedroom.
Absolutely.
So you two do that. Yeah. So we'll say that you guys just get through into the bedroom. Back from whence you came. Cool. Ella, this grease spell is going to be really useful. You know it. Brüz. Oh, sorry. No, Cherral needs to freaking swing to get out.
Great.
Natural one. It's natural one. It doesn't matter. Don't bother rolling. He's on the verge of basically just giving up and accepting his fate at this point. He may well be accepting that he's going to die here. It's kind of crazy. So Brüz, sorry, it's on you.
Back to Brüz. So Brüz, I just realised I didn't do it before, but Brüz in blink mode will be flashing in and out as the turns roll, and I did roll, so he would have disappeared in that moment because it's something that he kind of has no control over now that he's cast it unless he kills it.
Yeah.
But he has to use an action to kill it, and at the moment he's too focused on what's going on to think about such frivolous matters as to letting go of spells that that are already cast. And so he basically flashes out of the physical plane and into the ethereal plane, realizes that he's stepped out, goes, "Oh, that's right," and so stands up, walks around to the other side of Cherral and sits back down in the same kind of pose. just so that in that next second, the form of Mara seems to just flash disappear and then flash reappear on the other side of it.
Yeah, totally.
And then he's just going to cast Thaumaturgy again, and the color of his eyes are now going to change back to black.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, you kind of like you do a kind of poltergeist sort of like the room sort of thing where like you flash out and then you flash in, but you're right in front of him, and he kind of like yields back, and yeah, as you kind of flash away and then back at the sitting position on his other side, it's a Halloween extravaganza.
At the end of his turn, he disappears again.
Yeah.
But he basically will sort of just start for the time being, sort of flashing to different spots. I think the next time he's going to appear, kind of standing but looking over the shoulder of the bear, and it's just going to start sort of moving around just to really disorient or further disorient, confound.
All right.
And that's it.
Yell. You hear a psst on the roof. You look up and it's Arthrin up there. He's like, "How's it going?"
You're on the lookout, Arthrin. You tell us.
Shall I come down?
Where are the guards?
There's only like 2 of them. I'm pretty sure they didn't see me.
You're meant to be looking out until it's done.
Is it done yet?
I'm not sure.
So that's how Arthur spends his turn. Meanwhile, Nuru.
Board being lookout. God.
Nuru.
Okay, yeah, second verse, same as the first.
Just keep swatting that bee.
Yep, do it.
I still keep rolling like shit, but it's still working.
Are you meeting the armor class of 10?
Yes.
You can roll damage. If you crit, you can roll double the
Why are you
dice.
so shitty, Cherral?
Because
You're
he's
both shitty.
because he's at home having casserole,
I know. We're all shitty at home.
having Uncle Stew.
Let me see.
An Auntie Casserole.
Auntie casserole. Don't knock Auntie Novaste's casserole.
Yeah, I'm not bringing her into this. I don't know what her deal is. Anyway, that's
7 plus.
12 plus 1. So 13.
Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. He's what old school D&D players would consider bloodied at this point.
Oh, he's just bloodied?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can take a hell of a beating apparently. Dunno.
Okay.
Yeah.
It continues.
Actually,
used to work out.
you've been sitting on him for a while, right? So he's going to make a con
Yeah.
save, and again he's frightened, so he has disadvantage on
What?
that.
Just faint from the stress.
Oh yeah, I mean he's going to run out of breath eventually.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Oh, are you squishing the air out of his lungs?
This is like
Yeah.
Oh dear.
You've
probably
been
a good,
sitting on him, right? You've been sitting on him, so
Yeah. He's got. Have you had a
18
cat sit
to
on
20.
you and how heavy that feels?
It's that.
Imagine a bear.
You're
It's-
not contesting it.
Mother Nature's recipes.
ask Jody now. How heavy is that cat?
it's a bit bigger than a cat. It must be said. Nuru's barefoot. Oh, right, we're talking about the cat. Yeah. Cool. So
Simultaneously a bear and a cat.
these guards return to the front door. They're going to make perception checks each because there was quite a lot of noise inside. Kyro and Eirys, can you please tell me your passive stealths? It's 10 plus your stealth modifier.
Okay.
20.
Cool. And
17.
17? Yeah, it looks like the guys at the front door didn't hear you kind of make your way up the stairs.
beautiful.
Glad that's your passive stealth. If it was Brüz, it would have been 9.
Oh god, they would have heard
Wait,
Brüz.
what?
Yeah.
+10? That means you got -1.
Yeah!
That's amazing.
We can't be good at everything. Yell. Arthrin's poking his head over the roof, just like, what's going on?
You're muted too. Yeah.
Keep a lookout. I can message you when it's done. I need to know if people are coming round.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks. Meanwhile, Kyro.
I'm gonna help Eirys unlock this chest.
Sure. So you're doing the aid action on Eirys.
Yeah.
Eirys, you have advantage on sleight of hand.
Awesome sauce.
Fuck it up.
Okay. 24.
24. The lock unlocks with a click. And you guys aren't aware of this, but again, Cherral sort of glances his head in a direction that seems to be towards the ceiling, as if he's being alerted to something.
It was a alarm.
How could he hear it?
It's an alarm.
He couldn't hear it.
Spell.
Yeah.
I should have checked the trap.
It's in his head. Whatever.
In this particular case, the trap was.
He knows we're here.
He already does, because there was another alarm set on the
Yeah.
safe. So like.
He
Yeah.
just knows where we are now. Also.
Yeah. So he's heard a blip from the safe, and now he's heard a blip from the bedroom. So he knows where you guys are and what you guys are taking. So yeah, the chest flies open.
Wait, so he's in the middle of his worst nightmare, and then all of a sudden, like his like
Spidey
home alert
senses go.
system starts going off.
Yeah. He should have made that an audible alarm. Dummy.
He's just having the worst day.
So maybe just now, if he's not too scared to think about it, he'll probably figure out eventually that this was all a ruse if he like remembers it.
Not necessarily.
He definitely.
Assuming he doesn't block this all out.
He definitely senses that there's alarms being triggered in this house. Yeah. Cool. So the chest flies open, and you guys can see again another plethora of goodies inside. Where is it?
It's just gonna start.
Yeah, there's gems in here. There's some kind of music box, and there's a couple of sacks that might contain amounts of coin. There's less stuff in here than there was in the safe, obviously, but yeah, there's also there's sure it's easy enough for you both to like on this turn jump in, unlock it, open it, and just sweep out the stuff. We can say that that's your turn. Back to the top. Effectively,
Cherral.
yeah, he's attempting to break himself free again. Disadvantage. Yeah, it's a 4, so you're pretty much guaranteed to beat him. Oh heck. Can I do a retcon here based on what I know Cherral would probably do here?
What?
What's that?
I think the alarm would be a noise. I'm forgetting what the spell would do. So there's enough time for you guys to open the chest and to sweep the stuff inside. But yeah, as you do.
The first alarm, was that also a noise though?
No.
So the first alarm was silent.
So that one's silent, but the other one's not?
I believe the alarm spell it just alerts the caster. It's like ringing bells in their head.
It depends on what it is. If he's
It can be made to be an audible alarm to everybody around, though.
Let
it's a
me
choice.
take a look at the definition of the spell.
Oh, you can choose whether it's meant to
yeah,
be
it can either be loud or in your head.
So
One
either
more
he
time.
heard it or he didn't.
Now he
So I
wouldn't. Now see, the thing is, if it's audible, he won't hear it. I think, because
Yeah,
he's in
you
a
can
state of
choose. You can
silence.
choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. He is going to. He would have made it mental. So don't worry.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Because I would ask the question: does he want everyone knowing that something's been tripped, or does he just want to know when his things are being messed with?
Yeah, it
so
would be.
That
It would
can
be.
go quietly deal with it.
It would be the latter. So yeah, it's one or the other. So he's
'Cause
hearing.
an alarm would
He wants
prompt
to
investigating his
personally
house.
murder anyone who breaks into his house.
Yeah, plus if there's an alarm in your house and guards hear it, they'll investigate your home to see what's up
That's true.
for clues.
Yeah. So he's unable to break free of the grasp. He's going to roll con as well. Yeah, his arms go limp. From having been pummeled several times in the face and through being sat on and all the wind being knocked out of him by the bear, he seems to be slipping into maybe unconsciousness, just through asphyxiation.
I'm going to make sure that is so.
Sure, Brüz, you're
I don't want to I want to make sure he's not playing dead or something.
Okay.
So you punch him again for good measure.
Just once.
Sure. Arthrin.
And if he still doesn't react, I'm gonna assume that he's unconscious.
Yeah. Arthrin isn't being a very good lookout, to be honest, as you guys are already aware.
He's a human being.
So Brüz, you're just unless you tell me otherwise, you're just kind of popping in and out and.
Yeah, I think for the moment, this is kind of like Brüz is just in gleeful mode of like tormenting someone who believes themselves more important than Brüz thinks he deserves.
Cool. Nuru, you're watching this guy basically the muscles start to weaken and.
So I'm gonna get up off of him so that I don't absolutely murder him.
Sure. He appears to be lying unconscious.
I give Brüz a thumbs up, still in bear form.
When the bear's sort of giving
the bear doesn't have thumbs, so it looks really weird.
Well, Brüz would be kind of like popping in and about around you, so you'd be like holding a thumb, proverbial thumb up, kind of going, "Are we?"
You'd be like,
"Is it good? Are we good?" Like,
nod.
Sort of not sure of where the plan is going.
So
now,
she'll shift back into Nuru form, and then just place the blanket over the bearskin over him, like tucking him in.
Oh yes, that works even better. I was thinking about something else, but
oh wow, yeah, cool. Okay, so as you two in the bedroom are sweeping the valuables into the bags of holding, the bag of holdings, I don't know. You do hear from outside the room the footsteps of a guard on the ground floor. Remember, you're on the second floor, kind of approaching, perhaps on a patrol sort of route. We'll say for the sake of brevity, yell that's something that you're going to be able to pick up. He's not trying to be stealthy about it, and your passive perception will be able to pick it up. So you can hear this guard coming from this side. Cool. You can glance inside as well, yell, and you can see that Cherral appears to be unconscious, and it seems like things are still under control. You want to do anything?
If I can hear some noise coming round from the side, as a precaution, as I'm outside the silence, I will cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. Yeah. Easy enough to do. You let the magic wash over you, and you kind of glance down and confirm by holding up invisible hands that you are indeed not present. Cool. Kyro and Eirys, you can hear outside of the window the kind of a moderately armoured sort of figure walking by on the ground floor. What are you guys going to do?
I'm going to choose to trust that Arthrin's doing his job. And I'm going to look around the room for other useful things.
Okay, make an investigation check. Eirys.
Eirys will walk up next to the window, trying to stay out of sight, and just kind of discreetly have a look around, try and find where that guard is, look for anyone else.
Yeah, do perception.
Get a bearing on what's going on outside. 22.
22. You can definitely get a clear view of this guard here as he's patrolling in this direction. It looks like he's going to go to around the building, or maybe if you remember what the guards did as you guys were approaching. They kind of made their way across here, looked around a bit, and then turned around and came back because there's the back door in this direction. So you imagine that he'll probably do that in the next couple of minutes or so, and that there'll probably be an opportunity for you guys to break out. Kyro, what's the roll?
19.
19. You find some very, very vibrant and garish, sort of expensive-looking clothes inside a big kind of long wardrobe sort of unit, and you know you're not sure exactly how much they would be worth, but you know, this is a high priest, probably be worth something.
Sure, I'll steal his shoes or whatever.
Yeah, you steal 5 sets of fine clothes. You can add that to your inventory.
Okay. Was there a bookshelf or anything?
In this room, no, there isn't.
Okay.
It's just a
and nothing
bed,
under the pillows
chest.
or in the mattress?
What was the roll again?
19. I mean, I'm just letting you know that I'm checking this place.
Yeah. So under the pillows, no. Under the bed, no.
Or
you kind of. I mean, do you want to cut the?
Nah,
things
it's fine. If I don't feel anything of note, I don't care.
Nope. So
I'll
effectively,
take one of them, though.
you're going to take one of the pillows.
Yeah.
You guys are about to go out camping, so yeah, you acquire one of Cherral Novaste's fine feather pillows.
I'll just take both. I mean, if I have time, I'll grab whatever. So.
Yeah, we'll say by the time it comes to kind of getting past the guard that's patrolling by, yeah. What else to do here? I think we're probably at the stage where it's just about us all kind of sneaking away from the building. So let's jump out of initiative order here. Cherral is unconscious. The silence spell is still active, so you guys are good for kind of getting out of the downstairs lounge. You can wait for the moment that the guards is finishing his patrol. He kind of walks up, he stops, he looks around a bit. He actually looks straight at you, doesn't see you because you're invisible. Follows the eye line. He kind of, it's naturally sort of goes to the picket fence that goes to the edge of this garden. The kind of old, slightly dead trees, copse that you kind of approached from. Turns around and just walks back. So, how are we going to do this? Why don't we all make... Oh, sorry, Kyro, go for it.
Oh, I was just going... Well, I mean, if we're exiting, I guess we don't have to check the office necessarily. So if we're just sneaking out, that's fine. I do want to head to the temple, though. You
want to double back to the temple? Okay. It's probably wisest to kind of get out of the immediate vicinity of this house, maybe the picket fence, and then stealth along to the front door, the front entrance. That would probably be least suspicious. Brüz, you said you had your hand up?
Yeah, so just in further extension of what Nuru did with the bearskin rug, Brüz actually wants to pick up Cherral, put him back at one of his chairs, leave him draped in the bearskin rug, like bearskin head sort of like draped over his head, so that when someone comes into the room, it looks like there's some bear sitting on the chair.
Okay.
And when he wakes up, he's like, "Was I the bear?"
Was I the bear? Yeah. It's just as soon as he said it, I'm like, "Oh, we wrap him in the bearskin rug, and he thinks the bear attacked. He's then the bear that attacked." And like Brüz is just like firing into his synapses, just all in that instant. Like, oh, that would be so delicious. And so yeah, like wraps up the wraps up
Nuru's
Cherral.
just silently cracking up.
Yeah, because it's still silent in here. So Brüz is like,
Sure. Okay. Okay.
still as Mara though, which is kind of disturbing for this sort of ghastly impression to look suddenly excited.
All right.
But yeah, grabs, drapes him, sort of like covers him in the bearskin rug, sits him up on the chair, and then wants to sweep up and clean up all of the glass that broke out of the window.
Okay.
Just quickly kind of sweep it up.
Okay.
Okay.
You can attempt to do that if you want to ask for help from anyone that's in the room with you. That can happen.
Like,
Yeah, Nuru.
Gesture to Nuru to help
if you
clean
roll-
up the glass.
what's
So
that gonna
Nuru
be?
had an idea for a way to distract the guards while we're sneaking away.
Oh, okay. What were you thinking?
Well, I can just summon a posse of 8 raccoons to just like mess with the guards.
I actually had something I wanted to try to do. So I'm wondering if we meet up, if we like all briefly catch each other up on what we did.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe.
And then Nuru can just be like, I can just summon some raccoons to distract them.
I kind of wanted to lead the guards into like the temple.
Wait, how? Why?
Well, one, it'll make them think something spooky happened here, right? That's what we're trying to do, right?
Well, I think at the moment there might be better value in like the guards being as sort of clueless to concern as possible. Like there has been noise, but there hasn't been enough noise for them to go, oh, we need to investigate that further.
Well,
Kind of just
if
like, oh.
It was a loud noise. I'm just saying if later... It'd be better if they were pretty sure it was ghosts rather than pretty sure it was cats.
I mean, if raccoons would make them think, oh, that must be what made the noise on the roof. That's that advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if you'd rather do that.
Raccoons are always getting into people's stuff.
Sure, whatever. I'm still gonna leave stuff in the temple, though.
Sure. Okay. Well, you still need to pick up Ella. So what we'll say is...
Exactly.
You guys will make your way out of the windows, and Eirys and Kyro, I'll ask you to both make stealth checks. Arthrin meets you guys at the roof and kind of drops himself down. Nuru, you can let off your raccoons if you want.
So she basically just instructs the raccoons, just go and don't hurt the guards, but do annoy them.
Okay. So do you send them around the back of the building or around the front?
You can split them into groups.
True. I could.
I mean,
I'll
there's
say
4
this,
guards
though,
and what,
while-
4 raccoons?
2 groups of 4 raccoons.
Okay.
Whilst Nuru and Brüz are doing the cleanup and
Sure.
sort of thingo, Brüz is going to use a disguised self to change his appearance to that of Cherral.
Okay.
Because Brüz is actually going to walk out through the front door.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. All right.
Brüz going to take sort of the same attire that Cherral was wearing.
Yep.
And his plan was to just kind of walk out, give a gesture to the guards, and then just walk off out through the front. And if they turn to follow him, go all just wordlessly.
Okay. Sure. Okay. You can certainly do that. Is this happening at the same time as Nuru? We'll say that this happens before Nuru does the raccoon thing, just for the sake of making this work. Roll deception with advantage because you're disguised.
I'm gonna go to the temple with whoever is left, I guess.
Oh, thank goodness for the advantage there, because I rolled an 18 and a 1.
Okay.
So what was the deception?
Yeah.
You said deception. So that's a 19.
Okay.
Deception.
That's fine. The guards at the door kind of see it open behind them. They turn confused. Oh, High Priest Novaste, you said you were turning in. You kind of gesture towards them and. Oh, all right. Yeah, sure. Heading back to the temple, I guess.
Walks off.
Just walks up. Somebody kind of looks after.
Straight up the front.
Kind of close the door behind you and kind of look at each other like. What the fuck are we here for then? Yeah. And at that moment, sweeping around the front comes the group of raccoons, and they're like, "No, go,
You're there to defend from raccoons.
Worcester! This must have been what made the noise on the bloody roof." Yeah.
Oh, that's why he's leaving.
Yeah. So they're completely distracted, and the guards around the back are to the point that everybody who's making a self check to get away, which is everybody save Ella, gets advantage because the raccoons are distracting.
I'll take that. Oops.
Brüz is going to keep his Cherral costume and walk to the temple.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
17
Not as well.
is Yell's
Where we're
stealth
going.
check.
17's good.
Let me add the numbers.
Arthrin with a cheeky. Thanks for joining us, Sam the Jedi. Hope you're having fun.
Hi.
Oh, another Jedi.
Got to 23.
Soon you will join the dark side, as we all are destined to. Anyway, cool. Sorry, Yell, you got an 18. Kyro, what was yours?
I got a 20. What was it? 3? 23.
23. Eirys?
Yes.
I got a 19.
19. Nuru?
19 plus my stealth,
Okay.
which is 24.
Okay, 24. Arthrin got an 18, so that's enough. Brüz, no roll necessary because you've just blagged your way through. You guys make your way to the back. You vault over the picket fence and make your way into the copse of deadening, blackening trees. And you,
And
you take
after
stock.
everyone snuck out, Nuru just gives the mental signal. She just like makes a blue jay noise, which is the signal for the raccoons to retreat.
You do so, and yeah, the raccoons just scarper. They go around the adjacent corner of the building. The guards kind of run after. They break around the corner, and nothing's there.
Yeah, and basically as soon as they break eye contact with as soon as they break line of sight with the raccoons, I just send them back.
Yeah.
To the bay. So
So-
your job is done.
Yeah, you guys have made your way back. Your bag's considerably more heavy. Cherral Novaste unconsciously sort of knocked unconscious and sat on until he went to sleep. And at that point, things calm down. You get a couple of moments to sort of get your bearings. You realise that Brüz is not with you.
Brüz will have sent a message to Yell at least
Okay.
to say that he was getting to the temple.
Okay.
And Nuru would know that he'd taken the form of Cherral.
That's
because
true.
He would have
Yeah.
done that before leaving.
Mhm.
So, like the whole sort of scatter and then reform thing, Brüz will just send a message to Yell saying, "I'm going to go and find Ella at the temple. If any of you would care to meet me nearby."
Yeah, we'll reply with, yeah, we're on our way there. We'll regroup there.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to
And I
ask you
let
to
the others
roll.
know.
Yeah, sure. I forgot to ask Brüz to roll cleaning. What skill is
Oh,
related
yeah.
to clearing
Oh.
glass?
Does he have prestidigitation?
No, he doesn't.
Sad.
He does have thaumaturgy, and could create very localized vibrations in the ground to vibrate them all into a pile.
What?
Oh, not sure that's the purpose of that spell. But
I know. Brute like capable of just sweeping, and will happily roll for it, and got
You could do like
Roll.
17 plus cleaning.
You could do like investigation. So as he clears up, then it's checking to see if you can see anything you've left, like
Oh.
looking for any bits to clear
do you
up.
think that sounds sensible, TheSwiss?
Investigation to see more broken glass. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Which will give me an un-20.
You feel like you've done a pretty good job. You feel like you've done a pretty good job of basically sweeping up the glass and basically piling it out of the window. In terms of like replacing the glass that you smashed to get in, that will be harder.
No interest in doing that. Just wants the broken window to be like broken, but no sign of breakage.
Sure. Okay.
Just the confusion.
So it's we'll say for the sake of brevity, it's easy enough for you guys to kind of make your way down the alleyway through the adjacent buildings at the north west side of Farinloth and around to the temple. It's a long round trip, so you guys are going to get there considerably after young Brüz. The temple doors. So, you open them yourself and step inside, and make your way into the main sort of antechamber. The rows of pews, the statue at the front left, the kind of raised altar, the stained glass, all familiar to you. And several of the acolytes double take as they see you come in. And they kind of...
Again, sort of hold it.
There are acolytes here in the... I guess it's in all 24 hours kind of thing then, huh?
I mean, no one...
The night shift.
Some people live here.
That's fine.
It's less of a night shift and more of there's individuals sort of like reflecting at the altar and
they couldn't sleep. They needed to pray.
I mean, what time of night is it necessarily?
This is after dusk, so like this is after dark. So this would probably be the proverbial sort of 8-9 p.m. at the earliest.
See, I would suggest it was maybe close to 10ish. So at that point, there are still people in the library. Hence, Ella is there. And yeah, there are still individuals. There aren't many. There's 2 or 3, and yeah, they kind of reverently sort of like step back and they kind of bow their heads as you walk by, in the way that they have been trained.
And every so often, as he walks past these acolytes, he lets out little farts.
They're holding. They are holding their composure pretty well. They are staying the course. They are staying focused. Maybe they're just tired, but yeah, you're able to make your way to the right-hand corridor down and to the left. Ella is at a desk in the central sort of near the center of this sort of cog sort of array of bookshelves out from the center raised platform with the teleportation circle on it that you came to town through originally. There's a desk nearby, and Ella is there, a bunch of papers in hand, scrawling and scribbling away. Very focused on whatever she's doing.
Yeah, so Brüz is going to just walk up and sit down next to Ella, and just kind of start sort of peering over the shoulder. Won't interrupt. Won't kind of startle or anything. Just going to sit down and start watching. And then if she looks up and sees Brüz as Cherral, Brüz is going to cast Thaumaturgy at that moment, let his eyes flash gold, wink, and then just continue sitting there for the moment.
So she'll probably sense that someone is sitting next to her, so she'll look up and she'll kind of do a bit of a...
Because it'll be Cherral initially that you're sitting next to, like yeah. And then the eyes flash gold, and you get a wink.
Sure.
She'll chuckle and then she'll just wink back.
Okay. So you guys going to make your way out?
To the temple?
Yes.
Oh yeah, sorry, you guys are coming around. I'd say by the time, if you two wanted to make your way out of the library, you could meet the others in the central antechamber.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
I want to leave some donations.
Well, somewhere like not so visible.
Okay.
Because even though Brüz looks like Cherral, the idea of keeping the rest of our faces away from Cherral is important.
Sure.
Getting near that.
So yeah.
And I think as long as it's kind of only Ella that is seen with Cherral sort of in the temple, and that we'll sort of exit the temple and then meet nearby.
Okay. Yeah, sure. That's if that's what you guys would rather do. Any counter offers to that, or?
I had some stuff to do in the temple just before we leave.
Do we all need in on it, or is it something you can do?
No, I mean, you guys can if you want, but he's just gonna leave some stuff in the temple.
Sure. So I'd say while everybody is congregating just outside, a little bit further down the road towards where you guys had set the horses, Kyro can kind of pop in, and you can do so.
Are there is the statue in a super? Are there people in line of sight of the statue?
Now there are two. One appears to have retired for the night. Seem to be two, acolytes, young people who are in service of the temple who maybe live in the.
I'm definitely staying out of sight. By the way, I don't want anyone to see me.
Oh, okay. Stealth check then.
Okay. That is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24.
24. Yeah, you're staying between the kind of pillars that mark the way up from the main entrance into this temple to the altar at the front, and within a few minutes, because you guys are right, it is getting late. The individuals who are here, this last two people, that they are a pair of friends apparently, who are just reflecting quietly and quietly talking, and one of them kind of gets up, takes the other by the hand, and they walk into the left-hand corridor, which is, you remember where that's where they all live, the rooms, whereas the right hand leads to the library. All
right. You said there were metal bars in Cherral's big vault thing.
So there were. So there are two vaults to bear in mind, one of which is in the temple outright, which is down the right-hand corridor nearby where the library is. And that's where a lot of the silver is kept for the purpose of grinding up and using in their holy water, sort of purification blessing stuff, along with some other stuff. Where you've come from is Cherral's house, and that's all sort of individualized items. Enchanted stuff is some of the stuff that you've swept in. You haven't really had a proper chance to sit down and look at all of it yet.
Oh yeah, out of character, this is unrelated, but did they pick up the magic knife and his ring and whatever off of his body?
I was actually just thinking that we
I know they didn't state it, but I would assume that they would
take the things from him,
while he was unconscious.
I mean, if you guys would like to choose to do that now, we can quickly do a retcon, but yeah, obviously it's good to
I just wanted to clarify that, because I remembered it just now. But
yeah. So there was a knife that I believe got knocked out of his hand that would have been easy to sweep up while you were clearing the room. And there was a ring that went over two fingers, his middle and his ring finger, that had a couple of gems on, both of which were glowing quite brightly.
I think Brüz would have remembered seeing him put that on. I think he would have been keen to pick that up.
And with that investigation check on clearing up the room, we can say that would have crossed your mind at that point when you were clearing up the glass. I think that's fair enough. So yes.
Awesome.
Unrelated. So, I'm gonna. When you reach into a bag of holding, you just have to think of whatever you want, and if it's in there, it'll come out. So I'll try for silver bars or gold bars or what have you. I'll just try those first, and if there aren't any in there, then I'll do some coins.
Oh yeah, he had a magic knife last time.
Yeah, that's what I was.
We just got that.
You guys have it. No worries.
I would like that.
Yeah. So if there's no bars, that's fine. I'll do coins. But the point is, I'm gonna leave some wealth on the ground in front of the statue, and I'm gonna put the painting in front of it, or behind it, rather.
You do draw out 1 bar of gold.
Cool. I'll see if there are 3.
There are 2.
Okay, 2's fine.
And you try and summon a third, and it doesn't come.
Okay, I'll try a platinum one and then a silver one.
No platinums bars, no silver bars.
Okay, just 2.
When you're trying to summon the platinum bars, a handful of platinum coins comes out. Like,
All right, I'll just put those on top of there, and then I'll put the painting behind it. And that's all I'm gonna do. Then I'm gonna
the painting. Oh
Yeah.
wow, okay. Sure. How many platinum coins do you think you could grab in a fistful?
And a handful.
Say 6 to 8, depending upon how big your hands were.
Yeah. We'll just say I've got 8.
Okay, yeah, good.
I'll subtract that out of my stuff.
Yeah. Well, when you check how much on the loot, as it were, I will let you know how much you've got.
Subtracting it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I won't worry about it.
Did I tell you guys what you had picked up last time?
No.
No.
You're gonna
just that
tell
we
us
were
later.
ransacking.
Yeah,
all the great
you
stuff
you
that
guys will camp for the night, and then the
and
excitement
it'll
can
be
begin.
random whose bags it is, I assume.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just a 50-50.
But the 2 gold bars
She
that were
was
in the
going to
loot,
item stuff, so
yeah.
if there are items, they're probably in Eirys' bag.
the 2 gold bars that were in the loot are no longer because you've left it in the temple, and it is a mighty and generous gift.
Bars are hard to convert
But they're heavy.
when you look like a thief.
That's true. Cool. So, yeah, you double back, you meet up with everybody else, and within the next hour or two, the moon kind of rises high, reaches its zenith in the midnight sky, as you come across the kind of earthen stable, makeshift sort of building that you guys had left a few hours before. Your horses and cart are still there.
Yay.
You lucky beggars, I rolled for that.
Yay. They weren't eaten by lions or whatever lives up here.
Yell enjoys his Big Mac, and the night, as of this point, is yours. What would you guys like to do?
Nighttime, yay.
It's so cooling, like it's balm over your eyes, and you don't really wittingly ever do this, but your eyes just gently close, and it does feel nice to have the moon on your face.
Yeah.
Brüz
I do the same time it's nighttime when I'm
starts
alive and outside.
Brüz starts recounting of the event to Eirys and Kyro, and then remembers that Ella
That
wasn't
sounds
there.
nothing like the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then sort of like at the end of it all, turns to Ella and goes, "Don't worry, you didn't have anything to do with it." and gives another wink.
Why is that?
Plausible deniability, I think, was the words Yell had offered.
Are you bad at lying?
No.
No, to Ella, he's saying this.
No, I can lie. But I didn't think it would look very good if I was involved. It's my temple at the end of the day. And he is still my high priest.
See, that way she's got an alibi because people saw her in the library when this was happening.
He shrugs.
As well as people saw Cherral with Ella in a calm and sort of friendly sense. So there's not going to be any kind of immediate sort of, oh, that's suspicious kind of
Yeah.
association.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as you know what we were up doing, that's all that really matters.
That's part of the reason Brüz kind of left the house calm and went to the temple calm and sat with Ella and things like that, so that it just all seemed very kind of
Above board.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ella, can you? I hope that you have 50 gold pieces to spare.
Let's have a look. I do.
If you can remove 50 gold pieces and just say that the library were able to provide you with the materials to copy the spell across.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you're able to, while you guys settle down besides this Brüz-made stable, the horses kind of chowing down on their food packs, and you guys start thinking about the journey that is to come. Yeah, you acquire and can prepare as a wizard spell grease. Congratulations, well done. you're able to finish that stuff across just because you started it in the temple and you can finish it now. It takes an hour.
Our rations have just leveled up. We can now have fried stuff.
That's right. That's up. Do you know what? Bloody hell. Breakfast is
I
going
don't
to
know
be
if
a
I want
fucking
to
dream.
try food in
Donut.
that.
You're just hunting is going to be so much easier. Just slip up the pig. Whip! Done. Just next to a sheer cliff.
I mean, that is valid.
I imagine
Slip the pig and then
Oh,
Nuru just
Tabaxi.
pounces.
Imagine
I can just
having it
straight up be a
again with her mother.
gas
She's like, "Don't you walk away from me!"
Whip!
It's automatic banana peel.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, that's basically the
You
banana
can
peel
totally
spell.
flavor this spell as being a bunch of banana peels.
I want Ella on my team when we play Mario Kart.
I'm happy for Ella to
All
flavor
the-
it like
All
that.
the cards at once, flip in the air.
Yeah.
Brüz,
Grease is a great spell.
Well, I'm happy to get on the road with our wagon, horses, and whatever.
you can certainly travel for a bit if you like. Sorry.
That evening, we don't have to go through it now because it's not like we're going to spend any money. But when Brüz was retelling the story, Eirys was kind of half listening, like not too interested, but she was mainly her focus was going through what they got. So we don't actually have to go through it now. But then she would have been looking at what they actually.
In terms of the precise number of coins, it will take you some time to count.
That's a good problem to have.
But you can definitely rummage through and pick out all of the individual items.
Wait, were we like camping the night, or were we just stopping for a second?
It's
I
up
think
to
we're
you.
just stopping for. Well,
Well,
Basically, she'll do it when we're like properly camped, whether that's now or later. But like when we've got a significant.
I was assuming that Brüz was telling these stories around the camp that they were set up for the night because
Okay.
it was already 10 p.m. when we left the temple.
I assume if we're traveling, we'll eventually stop, and then we'll have a camp.
Sure.
I thought we were just going to camp where we left the horses.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys effectively have walked.
Probably late. Yeah, we might as well just camp where the horses were parked because we had to
Yeah.
walk to them. So
It was
probably really late. By that
It was outside of town and just getting to the point where the farming sort of territory and fields were beginning to give way to more wildlands. And it's cold. The ground is hard underfoot. The earth is already in the kind of early spring northern chill. Frost is sort of starting to appear on the side of this makeshift stable. At least the horses would be sheltered here. If you guys would like to stop here, that's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, Eirys, as you look through, you find a potion with it appears to be empty, but it's heavy, like it's got liquid in it. There is a grizzled sort of wand that's seems to be a kind of metallic heft to it, and sort of engraving on it that vaguely resembles a key. There's another potion that you don't really recognize. It's nondescript. There appears to be a sort of little sachet, like almost a bit of an envelope with some dust inside that you're not quite able to define. There is a shirt of chain armor. It is bright, it glistens, it shows no sign of any wear or damage. There are coins. You kind of picture in your head coins from the bag of holding, and you reach in and you pull out just handfuls and handfuls of gold. They start spilling on the ground around you, and you calm yourself down and you move them back inside and think these will have to be counted later. There is a shield. Hang on, bear with me. I want to get the right description for this.
Does Theo use shields?
Hang on a sec.
He can and he wants to. But it's AC.
It seems to be just as far as you know, a simple sort of round shield with a bolt of sort of bronzish metal in the center, holding all of the pieces of wood together. It's again, it looks brand spanking new.
Would Ella be so kind as to magically divine what they do?
Sure. It will be 10 minutes of ritual. Oh my god, it's been forever since I last played D&D. Yeah, it will be ritual casting for each identify or using first level spell slots. You might want to save yourself some time before bed just by knocking out spell slots because you're about to have a long rest. But you can identify these if you choose. That was from the safe room. Okay. From the bedroom, there's a bag full of gemstones. There are 2 garnets and 3 pearls, and there appears to be a peridot and a topaz and an emerald and an amber. You don't know what each of these are called, what each of these are worth, but you do know that the entire contents would be worth something in the region of 2,500 gold pieces.
I like the amber.
There is a music box. A golden monkey.
Yeah, I had that in my bag.
Yeah, there's a golden monkey on top of a wind-up, almost jack-in-the-box thing, but there doesn't appear to be any motion that would pop open, so it isn't a jack-in-the-box. It's just a golden monkey sort of statue, Buddha-esque, on top of a wind box. I mean, would you like to wind it?
Okay.
No,
Not right
I
now.
want to.
I don't let you.
Why?
Because it might be magic and might as well check.
Yeah, she'll hold on to it for now. She won't use it.
But it's got a cute monkey on
Fine,
it.
you can do something
It's
with it.
like one of them see no evil, speak no evil.
He lets you.
whatever
He
monkeys.
lets you take it at this point.
Oh wait,
'cause
is
he's
this
just like-
Eirys had this with this Kyro?
Hmm?
Or do we both?
It was. He grabbed it.
I would
So
say
I was
that
like, that was interesting.
I'm assuming that you guys are interested in hearing about everything that you've grabbed. So I haven't specified what Eirys has and what Kyro has. It's just everything. Does
Yeah,
that make
that's fine.
sense?
He's not trying to be
We'll
Okay.
say you got the box.
stingy.
Okay. And I'll tell you what Kyro does have: 5 sets of very fine clothing. And there are shoes. Fine clothing meaning, I mean, Eirys, you're vaguely aware of like the Trine Elite.
I don't bother to take those out of my bag just because
Oh, okay.
they're just extra.
We can't sell those in town. It'd be too recognizable.
Yeah, he just has them.
You
for
certainly recognize that much, but yeah, okay. So yeah, so you're not winding up the music box.
fun. Kyro's not, but since Nuru is straight up
Nuru
like
really
whining
wants
at
to.
him, he
She's
hands
like,
it to you. He hands it to you because you are being persistent about it. So go
Okay,
ahead.
she will wind it up and see what it plays.
Okay.
Figure out to
Fireball! Oh, that's quite pretty.
I assume the music is nice, unless it's not.
Oh, can you not hear it through Roll20?
It just
Oh.
sounded-
I mean,
You can hear it.
Oh, well done.
well, there
There
we
we
go.
go.
Oh, yeah, that is nice.
So yeah, it's just a nice little song.
Keeps on going. It's a pretty musical tune, and what as well as it being the kind of chimes, the kind of choral sort of almost choir-like background, is also audible from this music box.
So
there-
she's like,
yeah. Well, you know it. You know its source. It's kind of from the music box, but it's clearly of fine origin, and you probably be able to twig that it's enchanted, but just for the sake of the musicality of it.
okay,
Yay,
So
it's
it's
not
just-
cursed.
it's cute. I like it. I like it.
It's
It's
not
mine
cursed,
now.
it's cute.
No, it's mine.
But I wanted it, and you didn't even want to wind it up.
Yeah, because I thought it might be cursed, but it's not, so give it back.
But I like it.
So do I.
Ella,
You
can
wanna
we get
borrow
a
something?
vibe on
Why?
whether or not you want to
Yeah.
identify any of this?
I helped the house.
Yeah?
Can't I just say this is my cut?
Brüz offers to break the music box in half, to give half each to them.
No, it's fine. Fine, you can keep it. Seems disappointed.
Why? Why
Well,
are you
Brüz then goes,
Yep.
you hold on to it for now, Kyro.
How come?
Nah, I don't care. She can just have it. She clearly wants it more than me.
Why are you moping?
I'm going to just keep watch now. Leave me alone.
Were there any diamonds in the gem bag?
Doesn't look like it. No.
Okay.
No.
Unfortunate.
I tell you what. Actually, I'm gonna do a bit of on the fly planning here. He's a cleric. It makes sense that he'd have some personal diamonds. We'll say, yeah, we'll say from the safe room that he will have 2 300 gold worth diamonds from the safe room, and 1,000 gold worth diamond.
Ooh.
I'm throwing that in because he would have them. He's the high priest. He knows how to cast those spells. So that's amongst the stuff, amongst the gold bars and the gemstones that he was sweeping in from the safe. They all just flew in.
For the sake of divvying up. Yeah.
Yeah. Ella will acquire those then. Did you hear that, sweetheart?
Acquired. Sanded in. 2 diamonds.
3.
3 diamonds.
2,
Marvelous.
2 of which are worth 300 gold pieces, and 1 of which is worth 1,000.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Thanks, guys.
You already have a
the
pearl,
rest of the
so I
gems.
guess you don't need the rest.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
3 diamonds. 1,000.
Would you like to identify any of the other items, Ella?
Yeah, just give Ella stuff what you want identifying, and she'll do it for you.
I'd like to make sure the music box doesn't have secondary effects, maybe.
Okay.
Anyone who hears it dies.
Just just to be absolutely sure.
Sure. Okay.
That will be the first of that music box I've heard.
So
we got the knife,
That's
the
what
ring,
music-
all that stuff. Everything's getting identified.
okay, the knife as well, and the ring. Okay.
Everything. Identify it all.
So, Ella, can you give me a reminder? How many first level spell slots do you currently have access to?
I didn't use any.
She could also cast using larger ones.
That's true.
So I have 4 first level spells,
Okay.
3 second level, or I can go higher.
So, if you were to use all your first and second level spell slots, you would still need 2 more to identify everything. But then you could also combine that with taking your time with ritual spells. So you can either identify them straight away or take 10 minutes for each item. But it's pretty close to bedtime.
You could also save some for tomorrow morning and just do rituals then, because we're going to be on the road and you could sit in the cart.
Do you know what? I either or. It's up to you. I mean, we can just take it as all of them have been identified, and whether you want to identify all of them now before bed, or whether you want to take your time and ritual cast, we'll just
leave it during your watch.
Then they wouldn't be watching.
Sure.
Yeah.
True.
No, that is true, but you can still do it.
With Ella's help, with some ritual casts and with some immediate sort of minor sort of incantations flown around, a murmur under her breath, and a flash of white that envelops her whole eyes and then fades back to her usual irises, Ella is able to tell you. It is a potion of invisibility. The wand is a wand of knock.
Ooh, that's fun.
It is able to cast the knock spell with a certain number of charges. It is the unlock
coming in
door.
whether you like it or not.
That's right.
That's great.
The other potion is protection from arrows, offering resistance to piercing damage.
Nice.
Oh.
For a minute. A dust of illusion is what's in the small paper packet. We can talk about the more specific details of this later. The chainmail shirt is a piece of armor, and it is enchanted +2.
Ooh.
Nice.
Light? Is it light or medium armor?
Ooh, chain shirt is light against the chain mail, which is heavy,
Medium.
I think.
Okay.
Or maybe the chain shirt is medium.
It's medium.
Yeah, it's medium.
I'd have to
and
look
then
it up.
chain mail is heavy. Okay, the shield. The code word is buzz.
Ah.
Ella?
Yeah.
The shield. You get a code word in your head. Buzz.
Buzz!
The shield begins rotating around Ella.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Is it a shield you don't need to hold?
It is a shield that you don't need to hold and still gain the +2 armor class benefit.
What?
That's very nice.
It's amazing.
Make shields.
Cool.
The animated shield is currently in Ella's possession, but obviously can be given to anybody.
Technically, you could have 2 shields then, because you currently have the perception shield.
We'll have to check the rules on how many shields are
Yeah,
What
permissible.
are the rules on
One
2
of you.
shields?
It's a good question. It's a good
Just a
question.
matter of
Leave
figuring
it
out which.
unsaying,
who-
Adam.
Like,
which
if
is
someone
better with
held
what.
2 shields, one on each hand, would their armor class theoretically be higher?
Yes. Maybe?
Can't attack.
You
I
can
mean, yeah, you
punch.
can't attack if you've got a shield in each hand, but
You can still punch people.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some builds in Dark Souls that do that.
Yeah.
Ella,
Shield back.
after exactly 1 minute, the shield falls back to the ground.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why you can't 2 shields, I believe, with the animated shield, because it only goes for a minute.
Yeah, so effectively, you can activate it at the start of a combat, and it will protect you basically for that combat.
I think Yell should have that because he's often in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Does he have the proficiency with shields?
Plus, then you can still 2-hand your sword.
As College of Swords, I believe I do.
Well, there you go.
Yes, I do.
So there's 3 more things to identify, and then I'll do one thing with Brüz once he's back, and then we'll carry on. The music box is enchanted to produce a sort of ethereal sound in combination with the chimes of the actual mechanics of the piece.
Okay.
Ella, you sense it's very valuable.
Okay.
But any other enchantment you are unable to detect. Meaning that you are fairly sure that it is not additionally enchanted or cursed or whatever. The ring, the kind of double-fingered ring that you picked up, is a ring of spell storage. It contains, Ella, a 3rd level guiding bolt and a 2nd level cure wounds.
Nice.
Cherral never got the chance to use it. The dagger at his side is very fine make. It is enchanted. +3. It is a +3 dagger. So either this evening, just by dumping all of your spell slots / ritual time as everyone's getting ready for bed, you're able to identify that, or a combination of this evening and tomorrow while you're in the cart and being pulled along by the horses, you'll be able to identify all of those. If anyone has any questions about any of those items, y'all just send me a DM.
Okay.
Just quickly, I probably missed it as I was just away from the keyboard. What was the knife?
It was a dagger with a +3 enchantment.
Ooh.
Does Eirys want the dagger?
She's really eyeing up the +2 armor because she's so squishy.
Oh. But is it? I think it might
Can
be
you wear
medium.
medium armor?
Well, it's less that you can,
Would
but
it
it'll
give
give
you
you disadvantage on stealth.
Oh, if it gives a disadvantage, then no. She'd rather.
Yeah.
Arthrin kind of shifts where he's
Dies.
sitting, just like, yeah, that can be an issue. He's still got the draconic armor from the Trine Mountains on, and he's been clomping around on the roof because he's been rolling disadvantage on stealth all night.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, yeah, the dagger would be quite good because she often does
Yeah, I remember.
that thing.
Just hand it to you.
Jodie's very grateful. Eirys doesn't show up like Jodie does, but
In answer to, just to confirm what this ring of spell storage does, you can effectively use spells on a day where you're not casting much to store spell power in the ring, and it stays there for you to use later if you need it. So what clearly Cherral has done is he has filled this ring with 2 spells. The spell levels have to add up to 5 in total. Any more and they're not going to fit. So the 3rd level guiding bolt and the 2nd level cure wounds, that adds up to 5. So those are the spells that are currently stored in the ring.
I was gonna ask you guys if any of you know how to cast silence.
You guys
yes.
just used that, didn't you?
Yeah, but he doesn't know, does he? Did he know that you guys cast silence?
Pretty sure
Well,
you
if
guys
he did,
talked
it
about it.
doesn't matter.
Brüz would have given that as part of the tale, because like this is sort of like one of the grand sort of divine tasks that Brüz thinks himself destined to do, or drawn to do, is to bring these sorts of people down a peg or two. But he would have been very sort of like happily regaling how effective the silence spell was, how fearful he looked, how hilarious it was when Nuru turned from a bug into a bear, but didn't turn into a bugbear.
Isn't it funny that bugbears have nothing to do with bugs or bears? Other than that they're furry, I guess.
What are they?
They're kind of like...
I've never met a
there's
furry bug.
goblins, and then there's hobgoblins, which are like a big goblin. And then there's bugbears, which are like a bigger goblin, but they're hairy.
Okay.
Brüz, as you're regaling this tale, there's a nearby copse of trees. You see a flash, a green robe disappearing into the copse.
I'll be back in just a moment. Brüz sort of gets up and just wanders off into the woods.
Arthrin's just like,
Oh, shit.
oh, okay. Wonder what's up with him.
Guess he's got to go pee.
Well, he does talk about the whole nature thing in the morning. Anyway,
He pisses on a tree in the morning. Yes.
Right, yeah. I think I got that. Anyway, meanwhile, you make your way into this small clearing in the midst of this small patch of trees. It kind of flanks 3 hedgerows, one approaching from the southwest, one approaching from the northeast, and one from directly from the east, and kind of just this clump of plant life between the increasingly wild sort of fields here. Less green and more sort of brown and hints of white at the kind of wintry lands that you are beginning to encroach on. And standing there is a green, cloaked figure with his hood up and a wide smile visible beneath the shadow that covers his eyes. Well, hello,
It's
Brüz.
so good to see your smile, sir. How have you been?
Well, Brüz, it's been absolutely wonderful watching your antics tonight. It's just looked so much fun, I couldn't help but drop in and join in.
Well, as you've well taught me, there are those in this world who need to be reminded that they are not invincible or outside of the realm of chaos.
Oh, yes, the chaos. Such a wonderful thing. I was so excited to see it. You did so well. So well that I decided... Yes, I did. I decided to frighten him to stay into the room with you. Would have been a bit of a problem for your plan if he had run out of the room.
I did worry that he was going to make a bit of a run-off, but I'm glad to know that you were there with me.
Yes, it was fantastic. I just wanted to say, well done. You're definitely one of my favorites. Some of these want-to-be tricksters are just quite wearing, but you're someone with real potential. That seed of chaos that you spread, it's so exciting.
It's so much more interesting this way, isn't it?
I agree. And that one I've had my eye on for a little while. He's been growing a bit too big for his boots. I was happy to see him brought down a peg, I think.
Yes, I felt it the moment I met him. There was definitely a peg or two needed to be drawn out of that man. Did you see that part where Nuru turned from a bug into a bear?
I don't usually say this of people who don't know me directly, but she'd have potential.
Oh, I know. I think, if I'm being honest, sir,
I think most of these lot would be very capable at pushing chaos in this world. I know that there's one in particular who didn't seem all that good-humored to begin with, but in the end, turns out is quite the wild card.
Well, then I'm glad that they've got you.
Yes. I didn't think that she was going to take to me, and then, midway through a fight, she stabs somebody in the eye and then says, "You don't have the talking spoon." I was so excited. I nearly lost track of what was happening, and it was quite dangerous because there were, like, assailants about. But in the middle of it all, she decides to take the chance of a joke with somebody she was just killing. My heart beat so forcefully in my chest.
I'm so glad, and I'm sure that there's a joke in there somewhere that maybe I don't get. He kind of like indicates through the trees. He kind of points towards. Can you point her out to me? Which one is she?
The brooding pale one.
Oh no!
No. Not the white-haired one. The dark-haired one.
You kind of follow his gaze to look at Eirys to point out where she is, and you look back, and he's gone.
Oh no! Oh no!
I love it. Hate it when he does that. And Brüz kind of does a quick turn over each shoulder just to make sure that he's not doing that sneaky just hide behind him thing.
It's happened before, but not this time.
Sometimes you'll just hide in that blind spot just behind, like he'll duck down a little, and so when you turn, look over your shoulder, you don't see him because they're just like hiding down behind you. He used to do that all the time when Brüz was a child.
I want to have
So
watch
good at
with
it.
Arthrin.
Watch with Arthrin. Should we do watches and then we'll call it then? Unless anyone has anything urgently they need to do or want to do.
Brüz is just going to make his way back to the camp and sort of draw an earthen chair up out of the ground so we can sit down. And he's just going to sit down, make all the old man. Oh. So what did I miss?
Nuru's been making like a little earth tent. And
Oh, nice
she's
work.
just putting like parapets on it now.
Not what I would think was necessary for a tent, but I do very much appreciate the effort of aesthetics.
It's art.
It's like
It is art.
like a little annex on the side of the stable.
Yeah.
Brüz
I'm
just
gonna destroy it in the morning anyway.
Brüz is
Because
just sort
art
of
is
got this,
ephemeral.
this sort of this deep but sort of distant sort of stare in his eyes, but just a very, very contented grin on his face. Just can't wipe the grin off his face. Just
And
like,
Nuru's thinking
reveling
like, wow,
in
that
memories.
must have been like a life-changing pee.
That's true. Okay, so that's Swiss, that's Nuru. Eirys, anything from you?
No, she's going through the stuff and then she'll just chill and then take a watch, sleep, all that jazz.
Okay, Kyro?
Yeah, he's just sitting next to the wagon for whenever his turn to watch for danger is, and he's just gonna I guess read.
Okay. What are you going to read? Do you have any
One of the
materials?
books that he took.
Okay. Make an investigation check. Do you mind if it's with disadvantage?
Oh well, specifically, he's reading a story,
Okay.
a narrative story.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that is it.
Wasn't he reading The Last Unicorn?
Yes.
Ah. A daring and brave tale. Yes.
He's trying.
It's good. You're getting through.
She hasn't even come out of the forest yet.
He looks upset as he's reading.
It's an emotive one. It is. It's like the Lion King. Anyway, Ella, you've been. Oh my god, that kiss. Ella, you're feeling kind of a bit taxed magically because you've just spent a lot of time identifying these items. It's all very exciting. Is there anything else you'd like to do this evening?
I feel like she needs to check in with Yo about something, but I can't remember what.
Does Yo remember what?
Is it that they didn't buy the falcon? Oh no, they didn't on the way back, weren't they?
Yeah.
Falcons.
Yeah, we're doing the pet run when we come back from the freezing
Come
cold.
back.
indoors.
Okay.
We agreed that much, and then
Even
yeah,
though we
went and
all
bought a
have
bunch of
horses
horses
now.
so that we could get.
Oh
there
yeah.
quicker.
Yes.
Yeah, when we get back
Yeah.
from destroying the evil. Yeah.
Yeah, and Yell bought us all horses so that we can get back quicker, so that then he can buy the animals quicker.
That's true.
Strong motivations.
Oh yeah, Nuru's made a point of like if she has the spells to spare each night, she's gonna like just have a conversation with Stanley and be friends with him. You know.
Ah, hello.
So how have you been? How have you been doing? Did you hear what we were up to?
Well, I was on Yell's back for the entire time. He does tend to forget about that.
You're such a well-behaved goose.
I try to keep quiet, particularly when stealth is important. I did pick up the odd tidbit here and there about, you know, it being a robbery, the temple, the gold, and...
Oh, well.
Was there
Rest
any...
assured,
Well, Nuru,
that guy really deserved it.
I'm sure he did. Did you find any bread?
No, but I think I have some in my
Oh, the
in my
fire.
rations.
Yeah, give me the
That's not
The
very
fire
good for
bread.
geese, you know? Like,
May I please? Kindly.
okay, but
surely-
like a
surely
little
there's-
as a treat, okay?
Well, much obliged. I do appreciate it. I don't ever get fed.
That is a lie. I said I put food in Stanley's bag and let him
And
have it
then
when he
she
wanted.
immediately...
Bitch, you can't understand me!
This
That
goose
was out
is
of
saying you don't
character.
feed him.
You're immediately
Me
defensive.
saying
They have
that's
a
a lie, Stanley.
Stanley, are you telling lies?
Listen, a little bit of flavored bread goes a long way. It's like my old grandpa, great Stanley, used to say, a little of what you fancy does you good.
Are you Stanley the Third?
Yes. And
Are
I
you Stanley the Third?
yes, well, it was from an Irish breed. Stanley the First, Stanley the Second,
What's Irish?
and I'm Stanley the Third. I don't really know what Irish is. It was a strange dialect of sub-diagoose that I've never truly connected with. But it's okay. Next year I got to play some Who Do You Think You Are, so
Out
I'll...
of character. So Stanley's great-grandparents are from Earth Prime. That's just true now.
There, it's just
I
that...
mean, that's possible.
It's just that
Wizard magic.
in this world, everybody is just slightly smaller than humans. So a goose in this world just looks really big to them. Anyway,
I've always wondered why like spheres of water are so like round in this world. It's because we're all tiny.
true that. So Stanley actually really appreciates the talk, and you really feel like you're connecting with him. Stanley knows how to sit, and he will do so for you, and now Ella. He could already do so for Ella, and for and with Yell, because Yell owns him and feeds him. But now for you as well.
He won't do it for Yell. We'll do it for Ella. And
he will.
And now Nuru.
He'll respond to basic
would be
commands.
funny.
He'll respond to basic commands from Ella, Yell, and Nuru.
There was a command Ella knows that he won't listen to Yell.
To anyone else.
I think it might be speak. I think he
Okay.
will speak if Ella says speak,
Mm.
but not
Oh,
if Yell
okay.
does.
Um,
I can't remember all the commands he's learned, but yeah.
yeah, I think it was only those two. I don't
Yeah,
think she.
you'll have to write a list.
By this
is a great
point,
deal
you
of
guys have been keeping camp with a dire goose for long enough that he responds to basic commands from you three particularly. Yeah. Ella, anything from you?
She does she has a little plan for Stanley, and she would like to start putting it into play.
Okay, what's your Stanley plan?
How big
Whatever it
Stan-
is.
How
Brüz
big
is
is
a
Stanley?
Good
He's
question.
about the size of you, I believe.
Yeah. He's about your height, and he's a little bit shorter than you in terms of body, but his neck and head actually goes a little bit taller than you because long neck.
Okay.
Almost
So-
right.
Wait, he's taller than me?
Yeah, I suppose he is. I'm still getting over the fact that Nuru isn't like human sized. That's a relatively new
She's,
discovery.
part of it is just that I've decided that she's just sort of a petite person.
Okay. So anyway,
So-
yes.
Ella would like to start to try to train Stanley for him to let her sit on him. Because her plan is to get a saddle and her to ride him. And then, especially when it comes to battle time, she can ride him into battle.
I
You
like
are
that.
asking
yeah.
to
Question.
roll. Yeah, go for it.
Question, can Stanley fly?
He is a goose, so indeed he can.
Okay. Can he fly while someone's sitting on his back?
You guys don't need to spend more than 2 seconds looking at Stanley to know that would be impossible.
Okay.
Unless he had a kind of magical empowerment, like
Cast
if
fly on Stanley so that
Sort of magic saddle that made anyone who sat on him weigh nothing.
that
Or
I
belt
would
of
be
strong
okay with.
giant strength.
Or that.
So yeah, I will let you roll an animal handling check to commence this training process. You are rolling for a battle goose. Carry on.
Okay, awesome. She would also like to, at some point, get like old-fashioned pilot's hat and goggles for herself, and some goggles for Stanley.
You can get it in the
Oh,
same
yeah.
hat as you got the Sherlock Holmes outfit.
We all the goggles will match. We'll look like a gang.
That we could potentially fashion the chain shirt into goose armor. Because what better than chain
I mean,
for
it's
a flying
magical
creature to have
armor,
movement?
so
No.
Technically,
It'll be
No.
jingly.
No, Zoe, no.
It can only be worn by humanoids.
I feel like we need like an armor smith or something to actually do that, and we'd have to explain to that armor smith
there's
that
some
we want to make a
conversations.
battle goose.
Zoe,
Yeah.
what did
Give
you
us a
roll?
great conversation.
So I rolled a 18 plus a 2,
Okay,
a
dirty 20.
natural 20.
There's something about how Stanley's behaving. You know, when you first got him, it was after destroying like the rest of like his flock, and you know, Yell kind of attempted to tame him by physically wrestling him to the ground and holding him in place. So it's been a long journey for Stanley. He's kind of learned to come around to you guys, and he's truly doing so. Particularly as Nuru has become so conversational and seems to be able to understand what he's saying, which means a lot to him. And he's in a pretty positive frame of mind as you kind of approach. You tell him to sit down. He does so happily. He cocks his head to the side and he quacks loudly as you kind of tickle him underneath the beak. And it takes a little while, but eventually you're on his back and the balance is okay. You feel like he kind of like shifts and shudders a little bit because this is something that's new for him. But he seems able to bear the weight, and you feel like you've made pretty good progress, which is amazing considering this is the first time you've tried it. Well done.
She won't stay on for too long because she's going to build it up and build up its strength. She
yeah.
gets,
He's
she'll
tired
get
by the
off.
end of it. Like
Can I get this goose
get-
swole?
you get the sense that he's with you on the vision. Like he just about understands that the vision is that you're on his back and he's like with you on it. But he does get a bit tired. So he does flop down next to Yell. He kind of, and he's on
She'll,
he's on his back, and his little pot belly, so it's kind of like lolls out, his feet stuck out like this.
She tickles his tummy and then gives him a hug.
He flaps his wings around.
Snuggles
Nuru,
right in.
you hear him say, "Oh, by Jove!" Well,
Nuru tries to impress upon these people like he's such a fancy gentleman. You don't understand.
Arthrin's like, yeah, Nuru, he's a very fancy gentleman.
Fancy gentleman.
You would understand if you could hear him speak.
I can understand he's a fancy gentleman. I just haven't found a top hat or a monocle to give him yet.
Oh my god.
That would be excellent.
Cherral's just staring daggers at his book and he hasn't turned a page yet.
So
stocks
and shares and fancy dress in this world are about to take a
see
jump.
what page he's on.
He's on the first page.
Oh, no way.
Nuru's like, are you having trouble with that book?
He closes the book and looks at you. What?
Well, you're still on the first page.
Oh man, we need a
That's
cat.
because I'm reading the first page.
Okay.
Why?
Nothing.
What do you want?
Just, you know, if you need help, I can help you.
That would defeat the purpose.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
I absolutely love how hard Nuru tries to be friends with Kyro, and how just brutally flat Kyro is with Nuru. Just no.
Sorry, we've gone around everybody.
The
Yell.
expression does soften.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yell. Is there anything that you want to get done?
He is no longer reading.
Can't think of anything.
What I'll say is, you guys will take a long rest here, and yes, Nuru with. Oh, sorry, Yell, go for it.
Other than attuning to the animated shield,
Oh, for sure. Congrats.
because that's an hour. So just
before
before bed.
that's
attune to
good.
it.
Shield for you.
Were any of the other items identified attunable ones?
Good question. I don't think the changer is. The ring of spell storage, maybe. I think it might be, actually.
Yeah.
It is indeed to use it to cast. You can cast into it at whatever level, but to actually use the stored spells, you need to be attuned.
So if Ella wants to take an hour before bed, or maybe while riding in the cart, maybe while identifying items tomorrow, then Ella can do that. I'll take that as something that's done.
Yeah, we're happy for Ella to have the ring. She's not going to take anything that if other people want.
I think the ring was the only thing that kind of grabbed Brüz's eye, but I think it's one that would work for either a cleric, obviously, for being like those extra healing spells on hand, in hand.
Okay, so maybe one to think about?
Yeah, no, I think we could probably, like, Ella should take it to start. I think.
Yeah, and then we can share it, can't we?
We can share it.
Yeah, sounds good.
See, it'd be the cleric bro ring.
Oh man, that's incredible.
Your turn. Okay. So you said with this ring that you have to attune to it to cast it.
Yes.
And you have to use a spell to cast into it.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Does a spell cast into it by another spellcaster once kind of taken off and then given to somebody else to attune to,
Yeah,
does
you
it
can do that.
clear the ring?
No.
No.
Does
So
that
spells are in it.
caster then have access to a potentially different class's
Yes.
spell?
yes,
The
absolutely.
second thing.
Absolutely.
Oh, Brüz
It would
is
just take a lot of
definitely
preparation.
wants to share this with Ella.
It's a great
Brüz
ring.
is like, just like already like, oh, I need you should try. Oh, imagine if you could do that one. Oh, that could be fun. And like just thinking about little like druid things and stuff like that Ella can't do, and then thinking about some of the wizard spells that Brüz just could never get the head around, kind of
Brüz.
thing. Could just
And,
be like
put in there. Oh, Brüz can cast Grease. That's one of
Oh,
that's
never
one of his that's one of his
Nuru's
favorite.
like, imagine how many hornets we can have if we can each summon hornets.
Yeah, well, and there's another thing, like we could triple out a spell somehow. 2 clerics, put a cleric spell in another person's hand, that's 3 cleric spells all at once. You imagine
What about
like
spells you
3
have to,
spiritual weapons
concentrate
How
on?
many
popping
summon
in
keys?
all at once.
Well, I assume the person casting the spell.
Sorry, James, to have just derailed you and
No, it's fine.
destroyed any chance of a sensible combat experience ever again.
I've got fucking polymorph. I can put that in the ring.
As you
What a
guys
dangerous thing you've just given us.
as you guys are pondering the possibilities, you stay up late into the night, and it's a while before you take your long rest. Oh yeah, Kyro, you wanted to talk to Arthrin during watch.
Yeah.
Should we
Why
finish?
not?
Should we finish with that?
Does anybody else want to do something?
I've gone through everybody, unless there's
No,
anything.
I'm good.
Okay. So yeah, we'll take it in turns, just pairs of individuals, and it happens to be Kyro and Arthrin this evening. He kind of paces to the edge of the kind of makeshift stable, leans against Brüz's molded wall, and looks up at the now kind of the moon's coming down towards the horizon.
Just sits next to him.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Hey. Good.
So how much money do you think we got tonight?
A lot.
It's crazy. I've never known.
I mean, you saw it, right?
I saw Eirys just pulling out like handfuls and handfuls of gold until she gave up.
Immediately started stuffing it back in.
Yeah. I don't know how many hundreds of gold pieces there were there, but it's definitely more money than I've... Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Think of the stuff we could buy with that. You got any ideas?
Food, I guess. Lots. I guess you could buy a lot of food with it.
Yeah, that's true. But like really nice food.
Stuff? Yeah, nice food.
Like I'd never really had that nice food. Like the best thing that I ever had was like these sort of really light cakes that were really fluffy and like they dissolved in your mouth. Like I miss those. But nothing like massively upmarket, I guess, you know.
Curry.
Curry?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you have back home?
That's one of the things.
Okay.
I also like clams.
Clams?
Yeah, those are good too.
Okay, that's a funny mix.
Plus, you can just eat them.
Well,
I don't know. I've never really had them. I suppose like we've been like teleporting places and stuff. Like maybe we could go to the beach at some point. You know, like places that have like clams and stuff.
I don't know.
beach episode.
Eirys hates water, and Ella can't swim.
You can't swim.
I mean, Ella can't swim. I can swim.
Yeah, she really should have thought about that before riding that barrel down that waterfall.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. I suppose hindsight's 20/20, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Yell was ready to catch her, so it wasn't a problem.
Yeah. He takes good care of her.
Yeah.
Guess we will take care of each other.
Kyro, come on.
That's just what he did. That's just what he did.
Okay.
Man. Do you think we can ever go back to town?
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
I mean, like, we just stole every valuable thing from, like, the High Priest's house.
Ah, Ghost did that.
I don't know.
That was the whole point of that whole thing, right? Ghosts.
I feel like... Do you think that people won't think that the group of adventurers that disappeared the same night...
Nah, we left earlier in the day, remember?
Oh yeah, we did make a big deal about that.
Yeah. That was such a good idea.
I don't know. Do you think... I suppose the guards didn't see us. You know, I'm feeling... I gotta be honest, okay? I know that I'm not normally this...
No offense, but not smart.
What do you mean?
Just the people. Not
the guards.
A cow on the roof. That's hilarious.
What do you mean cow on the... Okay.
The guards, they were talking about cats on the roof.
Cows on the roof?
No. Cats.
Oh. Oh, so do you think they heard me when I slipped over?
How the fuck would a cow get on a roof?
I don't know. I'm sorry. It's the accent. I did slip over a little bit, and they might have heard that.
Yeah, they did.
Okay. I was about to say that I was feeling...
I also heard it.
Sorry, we're in mid-roll play, and then a GIF just puts up there. That's really put me off. I'm sorry. No.
I thought I was gonna have to like rush out there or something, but then the guards were like, "Nah, it's cats," and I was like, "Whatever."
Well, actually, I slipped over, and then I really kind of crouched down low, the way that you guys showed me, and I think I was in the shadow / on the other side of like the slope of the roof, so they couldn't see me.
Great.
Because I was about to say I was feeling really good about how stealthy I was on the roof, and then I remembered that I slipped over, and then they heard me, which is not great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay.
The important thing is, you didn't die.
Well, thanks, Kyro.
That's such a low bar.
That really means a lot. We are still alive.
And also, you weren't imprisoned. That's also good.
Yes, that's a slightly higher bar, and I'm glad that we were able to avoid that as well.
Yeah.
Plus, the arsehole got what was coming.
Then
to
we might not be able to come back to town, because we'd have to probably do something illegal.
What? Like this wasn't illegal?
I don't know. I feel like we're heading out to finish this quest, and we all know why, and we all know how important it is. I think it might be worth being careful when we come back into town, just in case. I know we covered our tracks, but you can never be too careful, I guess.
We should act like we did nothing wrong, because we did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I guess.
If we act like we did something wrong, then we've done something wrong.
I'm not sure that that's how it works, but in this context, Cherral did deserve it, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's okay.
It is okay, Arthrin. If anything, what we did is probably good for everyone, because Cherral was bad.
I hope you're right.
And hopefully when they notice that things have happened, they'll go search his house for clues, and they'll find clues about how bad he is.
Yeah. They certainly won't find any, gemstones or enchanted items, not anymore.
Nah. The ghost took those.
Alright.
The ghost took them.
Those pesky ghosts. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'll head to bed now. I know that you need less sleep than...
Are we... Oh, alright.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nah. Get out of here, man.
He reaches out, claps you on the shoulder. Do you let that happen?
Yeah. He's not armed, is he?
No. No. He's taken off all of his armor and his sword and stuff because he's...
He did? Okay.
For sleeping?
Sure.
You don't sleep in your armor.
You can.
Take a point of exhaustion if you do.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's them's the rules. Them's the
okay.
rules, boy. Anyway,
Fine, then I'll take my own house.
Kyro says, "Cool. Sleep well, okay?
I don't do that.
Have a restful night."
Thanks. You too.
Goes to bed. He's a
Don't.
smiling.
Yay.
Cherral thought they were keeping watch together, but that's not what's happening. So he's just keeping watch by himself now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was under the impression that it was coming towards the end.
No, it's okay. This is funny.
Okay. Cool. With that,
He just had a 10-minute conversation with Kyro and then went to sleep. And Kyro's just like, well, looks like I'm just doing this by myself now. Cool.
It's okay.
all right. You guys enjoy the benefits of a long rest. It's been a crazy, crazy day. And as the morning sun rises over your increasingly wild trail, you hitch the horses. You mount up. You man the wagon. And you set out towards the winter
Do any of
wastes. Oh, sorry, go for it.
I'm just gonna put this out there. Do any of us have vehicle proficiency? Like at all.
Proficiency?
And on that note,
I missed the proficiency.
Vehicle.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a vehicle proficiency? Because this is a vehicle.
It is true. And we'll be doing the
Yep.
necessary rolls next time. You guys make your way down
Cherral
towards
just
the
being
winter
like,
wastes.
hey, does any of us know how to drive this?
He does say that. He's like, so do any of you know how to drive this thing?
To be
and everyone
continued.
used to-
Bruce under the assumption it was a basic wagon that you still
Yeah.
ride on the horse and you just pull. It's like a cart attached to the back of the horse that you're riding.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it so it's not a vehicle.
I think that would only matter if we were being chased.
Oh, so it's like a pull cart and none
Yeah.
of us ride inside of it? Oh, okay. never
Yeah,
mind.
that's why Yale got
I
a
thought it
horse
was
for
like a
everyone.
caravan thing.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, Yale got like a storage one, so
Totally
that it was just
doesn't
you
matter
attach it to a
then.
horse
Mm.
and you put it
Horse
back,
and
and then we each have
wagon.
our own horse.
Okay. So as you guys make your way, we will end the session there. Well played. Cherral got owned, mother hubbins.
Yay!
Oh, crumbs. It doesn't really count as a combat encounter, but y'all can
I
take
mean,
y'all can take 1,000 XP each for getting that done right.
definitely fought something.
Oh.
So many XP.
I definitely fought something.
Yeah, we
You
all
earned
went
that,
together
you earned
and
that.
fought
That
the
was
situation.
that was cool because that was an entire thing of your own making. That was something you chose to do, you planned, you got it done. That was epic. Well done.
Those are the best kind of quests.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The quests
that
we
was-
make for ourselves.
Especially
The
satisfying.
real quest was the friends you made along the way.
Exactly.
I mean, all the magic items and the gold is. I mean, for the sake of
The
for the sake of
people who are
posterity,
terrified out of their mind.
for the sake of posterity,
I'm gonna
let's give me clarity about how many gold pieces that was. Let me just see if I've got all of it.
Should we? I assume we can safely assume that we're divvying things up evenly.
Yeah, there's some more split. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7?
There's
Yeah,
also
you're
a
including
value
all
in just putting
Is there-
a building this into like a party fund. Like
Yep.
the party slush fund is
Oh, okay, we
like
can
I will say for all the games that I've played, the party slush fund is a much better way of doing the collect goods, buy the stuff when you want it, because you kind of just go, all right, well the party will want this many healing thingos, you just take it out, and then they're just divvied up that way.
You
Whereas like if
have
everyone
earned.
kind of takes bits and pieces, you can have your own like private kitty, but when it's big gains, you go party fund.
I need to pee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
I'm totally about that. I like it, but Bruce will have to pitch it to the group. Because at the
Yeah.
moment, it's not like at the
That's
moment.
not something that you guys think
Yeah.
about.
So
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I suppose I'm kind of metagaming the reality of it,
yeah.
but
guess
I
That would
can see
imply that
Brüz
we like
explaining
make
it.
group purchases, which we kind of do already, but we've been doing it sort of out of each other's pockets.
Yeah.
Mostly Yell.
It's like
But-
the difference
Yell's our
between
party,
public and private property.
Yeah, like
you have your own stuff that you own, but then you have the stuff that the government owns, like parks.
So technically,
Well,
what
not
a
quite.
party item would have been like the wagon and horses and food.
And you like amulets that a lot of us got.
But... Yeah, but things like that, like health potions, those sorts of things. And Brüz would explain it. Brüz would kind of pitch it more just in the way of talking about how the village, when he sort of grew up in the village, as much as he didn't spend a lot of time in the village, he understood how it worked because they didn't have currency there. They just did things for each other, and that the way that they would store the food was communal. The way they stored the materials was communal, and that they kind of they each had things that they made that they liked that they kept, but they would communally kind of put into this sort of into the store.
Talking about like club dues.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if Brüz would understand what club dues are. This is more communal. Yeah, but no, more just like a living involvement that there are like sort of when you have boon, so when you have surplus, the surplus goes to the community, so to speak. So this idea that you don't put yourself out to fund others who sit around and do nothing. You work hard and for yourself, and then if there is surplus and there is like ample amounts of things,
so we can just put however much we want into the fund.
Pretty much.
So
nothing is fine.
I'm just gonna cut in, guys.
Sure.
I'm gonna give you the amount of gold, and then I'm gonna finish the stream because it's getting obviously a bit late. You have earned, minus the kind of stuff that was left at the temple with the picture, 490 platinum pieces.
Whoa.
And exactly, once it's all counted, 9,001 gold pieces.
Huh, you did that for the joke.
I did that for the meme.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The important thing is it.
You said 400 platinum?
490.
490 platinum.
Yeah. And
is there somebody who's divvying it? Are you doing that, Jody?
4,900.
Okay.
There's 7 of us in total, isn't there? Including Arthrin.
Arthrin's happy to be included.
So 70 platinum each.
Is that 70 platinum each?
Okay.
70 platinum.
Yep.
Wow.
And
Jesus.
1,285 gold each.
Holy crap.
1,285 gold?
Yeah.
Remember where I put this information.
Wow.
Yell has just over doubled his money.
Wait, what was it?
1,285, I think.
1,285, 70 platinum.
Okay.
And 1,285 gold.
Cool. With that done, thank you for bearing with us, everybody. That was a fun stream. Hope you enjoyed that if you're watching. I don't have an explicit reason for why streaming has become so sporadic on this channel. We had obviously an issue with working timetables 2 weeks ago. We're intending to finish up this arc as a reminder, the kind of going into the Winter Wastes to destroy this Count Manalignum, whoever this person is, that you guys have uncovered. And yeah, after that, when you return and sort out your bits and pieces from doing that, we're going to take a break. Probably best for me to take a bit of time to sort of get my headspace right and just spend some more time doing wider planning, really. And it's good to have some time to do that. So thank you for bearing with us. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to love each other, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. See you later.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, bud. Bye-bye. Farewell.
Bye. Bye, James.
Goodbye.